Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California. From trivia nights to title fights, your voice of choice, Ozzy V. And with me, as always, on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler Greg Larson. How you doing, Greg?
I'm stunned and doing well. Each day I feel like we're gonna have an entire episode of just your announcement as it gets longer. But I love it.
I do it because nobody else can.
That's fair. That's fair. How are you doing, Ozzy?
I'm doing fantastic. Also, really wanted to show off kind of the voice of choice line, just because I'd been announcing for 10 years and it's only recently hit me. So, I think it's fine.
Yeah,
Todd,
and you mentioned fights, and thank God Jake Paul just got punched a bit. So that's a great time.
Also with us, ladies and gentlemen, Flesh Wound producer Todd.
You know, I bet our listeners would not believe me 1 second if I told them the original title I had for this show was Flesh Wound Farce starring Ozzy V. And Ozzy V made me remove the starring Ozzy V. Can you believe that? Because I still can't.
Listen,
he shows it in his words.
This is not a starring. You know, I can't star in something. This is a collaborative effort. I can't handle everything about the movie. That's why I need your guys' help to review some of these films that we do.
Placate your ego, obviously, but I'm just still shocked you said
Todd,
no.
Don't be ridiculous, or don't be inconceivable to reference the film we are reviewing and discussing today from 1987, The Princess Bride. Don't give me crap about my transition. Give me credit, if anything. If you're not going to do it, just play the trailer.
Oh, was I supposed to do that? No, I'm kidding.
Grandfather's here.
Can't you tell me I'm sick? He'll pinch my cheek. I hate that.
Maybe he won't.
Hey, how was this sickie? Huh? I brought you a special present.
What is it?
It was the book my father used to read to me when I was sick, and I used to read it to your father. And today, I'm going to read it to you.
It was a time when life didn't seem so complicated.
Marriage is what brings us together today.
What?
What?
I'm killing myself once we reach the honeymoon suite.
Wouldn't that be nice?
A courtly age of gentle conversation.
I will always come for you.
But how can you be sure?
This is true love.
Oh, no. Is this a kissing book?
No. Actually, there was a lot of treachery, peril, and revenge.
Prepare to die.
Never go in against a Sicilian when death is on the line.
There were affairs of state.
But I've got my country's 500th anniversary to plan, my wedding to arrange, my wife to murder, and Gilda to frame for it. I'm swamped.
And affairs of the heart.
My Wesley will always come for me.
Your Wesley is dead.
I've seen worse.
Bye-bye, boy.
Have fun storming the castle.
It's more than turning. What's the difference? We've got him.
Think it'll work?
It would take a miracle. Goodbye.
It's a story of love, a tale of adventure. It's as real as the feelings you feel.
We're kissing again.
Someday you may not mind so much.
The Princess Bride. Not just your basic, average, everyday, ordinary, run-of-the-mill, ho-hum fairy tale.
And that was the trailer for The Princess Bride, again, released on October 9th, 1987, rated PG with a runtime 98 minutes, written by William Goldman, who also wrote the original 1973 fantasy novel, also did write the screenplay, directed by the late Rob Reiner.
Before you go anywhere,
yeah,
I have to say something about the trailer.
Okay.
Cary Elwes, in his book, As You Like It, wrote, "The first and only trailer was considered so confusing, it was subsequently pulled from the cinemas by the studio. That trailer we just watched.
Yeah, I was
And-
actually a little confused by the fact that it seems like an 80s sitcom music soundtrack
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
a medieval kind of theme.
And it doesn't really explain why Fred Savage and Columbo are like, it's like, it does like, there's a reason I didn't see this movie theatrically, and that trailer had a large part to do with it. But I just had to get that out there before we moved on, because that trailer is something like, huh? What is this? So,
speaking of Cary Elwes, starring Cary Elwes, Robin Wright, Mandy Patinkin, Andre Rene Rosimov, better known as Andre the Giant.
his credit is Andre the Giant. It's Andre the Giant.
There's that. Also, Chris Sarandon and Christopher Guest. Then you also have some great roles by Billy Crystal and Carol Kane as well. Initial thoughts on this? I mean, this is one of the classics that I've known everybody to see, and I have not met a single person who didn't like it. And it's
After they got past the trailer and were forced to watch.
well, once the movie actually released, I mean, like nowadays, it's like you don't hear people talking about Princess Bride and somebody say like, "Oh, I'm so sick of that. It's so overrated." Like, I've never ever encountered.
I know
anybody.
someone who might, but we won't talk.
Really? Is
Well,
it Dan? It's probably Dan.
No, I was talking about the guy who disrespected him on us passing, but we're not going to get too much into that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, moving on there.
I have soul to enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like, and definitely one of my rotations as a kid. I loved watching it as a kid, and it just grows on you, and it almost feels like it gets better.
Mm-hmm.
How about you guys?
Yeah, this movie has been one of the few movies that I can watch over and over. As a matter of fact, I sent something to Todd earlier today to have for this moment. So there was a time one year that my wife and I were going through Spirit Halloween, and we found an Andre the Giant mask, and my wife put it on. Now, my wife is not even 5 feet tall, so her wearing an Andre the Giant mask was really funny to me. So we decided, well, let's do this and purchase this mask. And we did a Princess Bride Halloween costume for the two of us as a couple's costume, in which she was Andre and I was Mandy Patinkin, and she even had a little monkey that she had dressed like the Dread Pirate Roberts around her neck for the scene where they're, doing the thing and
right.
And then I'm trying to get it to pull up normally, but for some reason the image is
trying to stall enough too, so you can do it. But
no, you know what? Trying to do something nice, funny that everybody can enjoy. Sure. No. Hold on. I can't find it. Oh no, Ozzy eating ribs or saying he doesn't understand humor. Oh no, I got that on lock, like right here. Whenever you
want me to put that on?
No, I don't want you to put it on.
I think it's a great filler. I mean,
I do too, but there we go. We had to share it a different way, but we managed to bring it up.
So that's our wonderful costume as a couple that we had a great time with, and it was a lot of fun.
That is awesome.
So yeah, overall, this movie's been a cherished one within my family. Personally, it's been fantastic. And yeah, I'll never get tired of this film. So it's always good to revisit. And I got to watch it this time. My mother-in-law's in town, so the three of us got to watch that together today. So it was a good time.
A movie you can definitely watch with parents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, parents, kids, anyone. This is not one you need to really worry about. Okay, well, yeah, like I said, I when this first came out, I wasn't really interested in it. I'll be honest. I watched it at school because when it came out on VHS, one of the teachers loved it so much they brought it in. That was like our over 2 days we watched it, and yeah, I became a fan pretty early on. So ever since. It's just a good movie. The trailer didn't help when I was,
I get it.
Yeah, I would have been like 10, 11, right around the age of Fred Savage when this came out. So,
There's actually, it's funny you mentioned Cary making a comment about that being an issue he had in his book. Do you know what scene Rob Reiner still to this day hates? My wife was telling me this. She heard him talk about it. But there's one specific scene in this film that he just despises.
No, I don't know.
Yeah. So it's shortly after Buttercup's introduced as about to get married, and she rides off on horseback. Well, as she's riding off, there's like this lens flare because of the sun. He hates that lens flare. He thought it was so dumb, and if he could take it out, he would. So I guess he's not making a Transformers film anytime soon, but yeah. So, but that's one that was fun fact my wife shared today.
And that's the day Michael Bay saw it and fell in love with the filmmaker. Are you Googling lens flares?
I took some notes here, so from differences from the 1973 novel and the book. The major differences, you do get to see Buttercup's parents, or rather see. Buttercup's parents are introduced in the book, and they actually have a relationship that's similar to Max and Valerie, where they're just yelling at each other humorously, like angrily getting in fights. Another difference is no shrieking eels in the book. There were actually sharks, which in my head, the thought of Andre the Giant knocking out a shark is much more entertaining than him knocking out an eel. Another one is the Man in Black Indigo fight on the top of the Cliffs of Insanity. It's not just, there is in the book, it describes an open space, but it's much more varied around it. And Indigo is actually shown to be the much better swordsman, but it's just because of the environment that Wesley is able to best him. Fezzik's parents, you get to see Fezzik's, or again, read about Fezzik's backstory, the way of flashbacks, and he in Greenland was taught by his parents to fight for money. And you got to see his look, my way, is not very sportsmanlike. That whole personality came through when his parents would teach him how to fight, but he was just trying to be like a nice guy. And how Inigo and Fezzik find Wesley, you have Fezzik knocking out the albino before he can say anything, right? And then Inigo is praying to his father to help guide him to where he needs to go, and it gives him to the tree. That particular part is not in the book. What actually happens is once the albino is knocked out, Fezzik and Inigo decide to go to the front door of Humperdinck's castle, and there's a trap that puts them at the entrance of what's called the Zoo of Death, where it contains all of Humperdinck's animals that he's hunted. And there's supposed to be a fight scene that ensues within the Zoo of Death, where Inigo and Fezzik fight off these animals and then are able to find Wesley in the torture room.
I guess they referred to that as the Zoo of Over Budget.
Now, would you happen to know if the line of Fezzik saying "you can't trust a man in a mask" was in the book?
That I could not find something that said whether or not. I did. That's one of the lines I enjoy, simply because, like, when I was a kid and I knew he was a wrestler, for him to say that made me chuckle a bit more. And I'm not sure if that was the intent behind it, or, and that was just me as a kid thinking like, oh, this movie's trying to reference wrestling, when that could have been just me being a kid and stupid, ignorant kid.
I felt that when I just watched it about 20 minutes ago.
I mean,
but those are the major differences of the between the book and the movie. Everything else is pretty much accurate, and it's nice to see the original author taking over the screenplay for the movie as well.
Whatever what I know, most people love this movie, love it or not. There's no denying that this movie, as much as getting slammed by Hulk Hogan, made Andre the Giant immortal, if not more than that moment. Him
What's
being
also-
in this movie, and yeah.
What's
Just being-
really interesting and kind of sad, actually, is in the fight scene. Todd, you probably know this. In the fight scene with Dread Pirate Roberts, Cary Elwes needed to be on strings because at the time Andre couldn't support his weight because his back was already thrashed. Always interesting stuff about this movie. It's always fun to talk about. But going into the favorite moments, I absolutely, and it gets better and better every time I see it.
I knew you're gonna take mine again.
No, okay, you know what? I didn't even say it. I'll go last. You guys go first. Because I actually have two. So
okay, that's good.
I doubt you guys are gonna take both.
Go ahead, Todd.
Okay, because I only wrote one down because there's no way I was gonna bring it up, and that is the Wallace Shawn scene. The whole, all I can see is in the whole wine scene. He goes full Ozzy mode, and I expect this is how Ozzy will go because he will outsmart himself and drink the wrong glass. If I could have figured out AI in time, I would. I wanted the Wallace Shawn speech as Ozzy. That's but yeah, and that's why it's my favorite. And now knowing Ozzy, that scene even more. Just like this is how, yeah. So that's my favorite scene.
I guess I should say that I tend to get a little antsy and a little excited sometimes and might talk a little too much. And instead of drinking the wrong cup, I just start the wrong players in fantasy football.
That's fair.
So, but funny enough, that was going to be the one I was going to take. So there you go, Todd. You had it. Greg, I
hope you take the other one.
Oh man, I've got so many. I've had a bunch that I appreciate each and every time, but I think just being older this time watching it, I've really enjoyed. There's a moment where they cut back to Fred Savage and the grandpa, and Fred Savage goes, "See, didn't I tell you she wouldn't marry Humperdinck?" And then the grandpa goes, "Yes, you're very smart. Now shut up." That's such a great moment for the film.
The one line I always liked from the movie was "Life is pain. Anyone that says different is selling something." But this, as far as a scene that I truly enjoyed, was Miracle Max and Valerie. Like Billy Crystal is just like so great in that scene, and the way they like bicker at each other. It was so fun to send. Plus, with Max saying the line, "He's almost dead, not all dead." You know what the difference is? With all dead, you go through their pockets and look for loose change.
Yeah,
it's just like, and his character and Carol Kane's character was really fun to watch, and I absolutely love that scene. And it's a scene that I appreciate more and more each time I see it. But
well, and
it's tough to pick one at the same time because this movie's chock full of great moments.
If I was gonna say I'm gonna pick my two favorite Ozzy moments, those are the two I would have picked for you.
Well,
funny.
And what's funny is that scene, from what I remember hearing, is they had to actually remove some of the actors at certain points because Billy Crystal would improv so much in that scene that they would break character and start laughing. And Cary, supposed to be dead, obviously couldn't, move that much. So, but it's in that scene, I do have to say, one of my wife's favorite things to say, especially if like she knows she's saying a bunch that's like, if she's like being loud or whatever, and I'm like playing a game, she like just randomly shut up. "I'm not a witch, I'm your wife." I love it.
That's funny. Okay, now probably a fair estimate would be try to find a critique in this movie. it's a challenge because once it starts, it goes. There's no boring. I mean, there's no lulls, really. I mean, it's 98 minutes, so it's nobody's dragging. Um, if I had to find one tiny thing, and maybe I should go last year because I don't want to take anybody's, biggest critique. So I'll go last then. Todd, you go first.
I don't really have one. I'll be honest. Like even trying, I don't really.
Yeah, even my critique isn't really a critique. It's more of something that's wonderfully annoying. And there's a moment with Fezzik where him and why am I blanking on his name? Mandy Patinkin's character.
Inigo.
Yeah, so they're going back and forth with some rhyming, and when he goes, "No more rhymes now," or no, it's the Wallace Shawn's character who says he chimes in, he goes, "No more rhymes now, I mean it," and Fezzik says, "Anybody want a peanut?" So anytime now in my life when someone says, "I mean it," that's the first thing that goes into my head. And it's cursed me ever since I've watched this movie. So if there's a complaint, it's that's stuck in my head way too often.
Okay. Again, like I'm with you guys. It's very hard to like find something that you could really be like, I don't know about that. If I had if someone had a gun to my head and they said, pick one thing that you did not like about this movie, the one thing, and again, this is something so minute, but it has always stuck in my head since I was a kid. And that is towards the end when Buttercup jumps out the castle window into Fezzik's arms.
Mm-hmm.
She's like floating in air for a little bit. Never got it.
Yeah.
Like I would just like if she just jumped and then landed in Fezzik's arms, like, okay. Like I didn't need to
like
see
more
her
like
float.
Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah. I'd be okay. But again, like that's so minute, it does not impact the rating whatsoever. Speaking of which, jumping into the rating, maybe we should go last for that. Todd, you want to start?
I'm a 5. I mean, it's a classic.
Well, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, great comedy, great story. There's even some wonderful dramatic parts. The moment where Inigo finally gets his moment to get his revenge. The passion he has when he has that moment of offer me anything I want, and then the six finger goes, anything you want more, and he goes, I want my father back, you son of a bitch. That was such a powerful, great moment. Like that took this very fun film to like a serious moment for him, which was wonderful. And even the passion he had with his classic line when he kind of was coming up from his injuries. This movie is perfect in my eyes. So 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah.
Are you going to take any points about Mandy Patinkin playing the Spaniard? Not very Spanish. Just
No, because he did such a good job. I thought he was a Spaniard. I thought, oh, Mandy Patinkin's really from Spain. Now they got a Spaniard. They got a Spaniard to play 88 Keys in Dick Tracy. That's cool.
Well, you know what? No one complained when he played an alien in Alien Nation, so I'm not going to complain here either. He wasn't an alien either.
No, but it's a 5, like 100%. This is you talk to a lot of people, and like when they talk about some of their favorite movies, I love engaging people with asking them like their favorite, the funniest movie they've seen, or one of their favorite movies of all time. This is one that consistently comes up with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. Once you see it the first time, it sticks because it's, you know who the good guys are, you know who the bad guys are, and I can always I know I feel a film does a good job when the actors are able to really tell the story with emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Because my parents, not very good with English, right? But there's some movies that they can understand, right? And they can actually enjoy despite not knowing the English language to a certain extent, right? Indiana Jones, one of those examples. Back to the Future, one of those examples, right? This is also one of those examples where it's not telling you, it's showing you. And that's essentially the quintessentially like a must for filmmaking is don't tell, show, right? Like the scene in The Godfather, you see the look on Al Pacino's face. Brilliant, right? So, but this is one of those movies where somebody who's not, and they can just watch and get it with what's going on. And that's something I always appreciated about it. So absolutely 5 out of 5 for me. If you, I don't know if you're watching this, I highly doubt you have not seen this movie. But if you have not, as of December 20th, it is available to stream on Disney Plus and Hulu. So go ahead and check that out if you have not done so already. If you have not seen this movie in a while, give it another shot because you never know that you might like something a little bit more than you did last time. It happens with me every single time. So I not only is it a 5, but a high recommend rewatch whenever given the opportunity. If you haven't seen it recently, if you guys would agree.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. I forget, like when I rewatch it, it's like, damn, it's still just as good as it ever was.
Like there's so many movies that we've reviewed here where it's like we'll watch them the first time and we'll love them the first time we see them a second time. It starts to dip a little bit and the trajectory goes from there. But this is one of those movies it's perfect in the sense that you could watch it and the quality doesn't dip. So it's fantastic. Go watch it again if you haven't seen it recently. And of course, if you are in, actually, I'm sorry. Before I do the everything closing, I do want to take a moment just to address something somewhat serious. We did pick this movie due to the passing of Rob Reiner. And the circumstances of which it's important that, this is a stupid podcast, YouTube show, whatever you want to call that we do. We do this for fun because we enjoy talking about movies. And if you're listening to this or you're watching this, you enjoy hearing us talk about movies. And whether it's to have it in the background with whatever you're doing, or whether it's to escape, to take a break from what's going on in your life, just to take a little bit of time, just to relax and just think about something else for a bit, before everybody's got stuff going on in life. We all get that. So mental health is really important. And I would feel I'd be remiss if I would not at least just throw out there, if you or someone is going through some really tough times, there's help out there and help available. And please don't hesitate if you feel you need it. It really can help. And that's something I just wanted to address before we move on with the conclusion of this episode. Excuse me. So if you happen to be in the Orange County area this week, I'll be hosting trivia at the Rush Bar and Grill this Tuesday at the at the Rush Bar and Grill in Lake Forest, beginning at 7:00. Also this Wednesday at the Brewery in Placentia at 7:00. Both nights are free to play and prizes for the top winning teams. Do you gentlemen have anything else before we head out for the evening?
No, I think all was said need to be said. Thanks, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Of course. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. For world famous juggler Greg Larson and Flesh Wound producer Todd, I'm Ozzy V, and we'll see you next week right here on a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce.